Good morning and welcome to today's episode of More Than Just Task Management, your favorite daily podcast where we help you build a thriving business with me, Anna Angelova, business coach and consultant, and my fellow co-host and business coach, business consultant,
Hey,
Jores Minusvant. Hey, Jores, good morning.
hey, hey, Anna, good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And it's a beautiful day today. We are live on our Plantor channel, maybe for the last time recording this one. So let's see how it goes. I mean, live, being live on the Plantor channel. Like the podcast will keep on showing up every single day, but probably not streaming it live on YouTube. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't subscribe to our YouTube channel, actually. If you want to get all the episodes that we have, we are available. The podcast itself, More Than Just Task Management, is available, and highly recommend subscribing to the channel so you can get notified when we have not only the podcast but other videos available there. So this was a quick spiel. Now, get to the last topic for this week when it comes to technology. And if you are a regular listener, you know that this week we have been focusing on technology, starting with the mindset and how it impacts all those things you do in your business. And we talked about different marketing tools and things like this. And today we are focusing on the people aspect, right? And this is a huge thing. And specifically, what we want to share is how to lead the adoption of new technology. Like how do you do this? And to start the conversation, actually, you might already know this, but in general, when it comes to new technology, right?
Mm.
In the marketplace, you might have seen the adoption curve, like it's a bell curve, like a bell-shaped graph, and breaks down people into, I think, five categories, if I'm not mistaken, right? So
Yeah,
I think the first ones are like the innovators, right? Like they are the ones that take the risk and try everything first. And
self
then
adopters, we call them.
and then you have early adopters, right? After that, you have early adopters. And these are the ones who see the value very quickly, right? They see the value very, very quickly and they jump as well. And from there, you start getting the early majority. They're more cautious, but they're open to try things, right? And then after that, you have the late majority. And at the end, of course, you have the laggards. And with the late majority, they're usually skeptical, right? They adopt only when they must. And they've already seen the early majority. And this is when they
Mm.
kind of start adopting. And the laggards, they're resistant and they adopt only when like really forced, like really, really forced. And the interesting thing is, of course, that we all see these graphs and we all see the data as, oh, yeah, this applies to the general population. We're not actually thinking that, wait a second, if this applies to the general population, chances are that the people in my company, they also fall in these categories, right? That some of them might be innovators, then other could be early adopters, early majority, late majority, and laggards. And yes, if you have a little bit of a bigger, more like bigger business where you work with a few people, you probably have each of these, right? You might even have an innovators, even if you don't think about it, and of course early adopters. And then even if you have just one or two people, they fall into one of these categories, right?
Mm. 100%. And uh, I think this curve applies to small companies, 5 to 10 people, to large corporations. Some of it, I want to say, comes from the nature of the work. Some of it does, some of it doesn't, but it also, there's personal fear, personal resistance. What's in it for me? Is this going to replace me? Like I've had like business offices, back offices with 400 people that we had to do workshops for them to adopt it. I have had factories, like literally 400 people in the factory would not adopt a tool, a reporting tool, Uh, so the question from the CFO was, can you help us with adoption? We know the values. You don't have to sell it to us. It's already, we know it works. We know how valuable it is. We have an adoption problem. And this is something that, regardless of the size, any company would have, and having this, knowing these curves and understanding your people helps you, will help with that adoption, which in turn it will, because if you have five people and two of them, three of them don't adopt the tool is useless, right? Even if it gives you 80% of its functions, you will never use it, whether it's a CRM, ChatGPT, whatever it is, right? So understanding the people, their tendency to adopt technology before you even go and pick one. It also helps you pick the right one, but before you even go start picking, I think it's good to understand the adoption appetite of your people.
Yeah, and especially when we talk about small and mid-sized businesses, right? When you think about it, usually rollout happens so fast, right? Because if you have a team of five and they all need to use the CRM, like it's not like having a team of 5,000 people where like a company of 5,000 people where you can get a team of 10 to adopt something, like start using something and then you roll it out in stages. In small mid-sized businesses, it's fast. However, based on research, right? Like not everyone adopts at the same pace, right? As we talked, that there are at least for like those five stages, and who knows, there might be even more. And uh, while your early adopters, they are already exploring the tool, figuring how to use it, how it works, even thinking about creative ways to apply things. Your early majority is most likely waiting for proof. They're waiting for permission for clarity. How do I use this? What is this for? And if you are not paying attention, uh, it, again, people adopt at different paces, and especially when it comes to late majority and laggards, they can slow everything down. And when we talk about a small business, it's really this can be like Jores, like you said, this can be so detrimental because if you have a team of five and three of them are late majority laggards in terms of mindset and how they see technology, uh, it's like if you don't plan for it, if you don't do the work properly, do the adoption properly, they'll derail the whole thing.
Oh yeah, and my experience, workshops help. And workshops not designed to, paint the picture of a pie in the sky and a castle and a unicorn flying over the white clouds. A workshop where actually you tell people we're going to spend 1 hour talking about the benefits and how it works, and then spending the rest of the day, you bring your use cases, you bring your whatever it is that you're doing manually, and actually start applying it. And most vendors will help you with those workshops, whether you do it internally or with a vendor help. This helps because all of a sudden they realize something that they did for like half a day in Excel. Now all of a sudden it can be automated, and it takes like half an hour a day to do the same work. They even sometimes become happier because a lot of us don't want to do that mundane work, right? If you pick the right technology to automate, we talked about AI and automation as well, automate the mundane of the people. If you gear it towards that, that will help with your adoption as well.
And one of the best things about workshops is that this allows you, like you said, this allows you to test drive, right? To test drive it,
Mm.
and it will actually help you identify your early adopters. Because in a workshop, you will see them using this tool, you'll see them engaging with it and trying new things, asking questions that are not, oh, but like not having like the yeah, but kind of responses, right? Yeah, but the business is different. Yeah, but so they would be the ones who ask curious questions out of curiosity. Oh, how can we do this? Can we apply it in a different way? Oh, I see this possibility, right? They'll be really excited about this, and this way you can identify, like, even if it's one person, right? Even if it's one person or you're on your team who is an early adopter, who sees the potential of this, it means that you have one ally, right? You have someone who can help you with the adoption. And like workshops, again, so powerful, like you said, Jores, and they allow you to play with the tool, and they allow you to identify your early adopters. And once you identify your early adopters as next steps, they can really help speed the process, right? They can help the early majority get on board, right? By being the ones who champion these two, how to providing how to guides, uh, even doing demos with them, and doing some of the work together to show, oh, look how things work, and like all those benefits and things like this. And then of course this can help with later the late majority and even the laggards on your team. So it's a completely different when you um, do things from top down, right? And then it's completely different when you have it bottom up. And your early adopters allow you to have a little bit of a bottom up approach where you actually have someone who is a peer to everyone else, like, right? Like that they are just like me, right? This is a marketing specialist just like me, and this person is using that to like she's so great with this, and she's able to uh, log off a little bit early and go pick up her kids from school, something like this, right? And like it's different when your peer is actually um, showing you benefits and your peer is helping you start using new technology versus when leadership is pushing it from the top. No matter how big your business is, there is a difference. Like we all have that perception that, oh, if it comes from management, even if management is, even if you have a team of only one, if it comes from management, like there's something about it, right?
Mm. Yep, absolutely. And sometimes when you get them to use the tool in a workshop or in a demo, they may have a valid case where the tool doesn't do what they need. So all of these will come to surface once you get their feet wet and get them to start adopting slowly, and you have to work with people at different levels. Like some of them, like fast adopters, they really want to innovate things and be the ones who use it first. And some, they really don't want to do it. So again, if it's a stepped approach, it helps. And yeah, most of the time, top down doesn't work unless it comes to a point where it has to be top down. So,
And if you are thinking, like if you're starting to think about some of the use cases you have, right? Some of the new tools you might be experimenting with right now, mm, this really helps you, again, understand that different people in your company adopt a different pace. And as I said, plan for it. And this is where being a good leader, like last Friday, we talked about some of the signs of a good leader with listening, with leading by example. And even one thing we didn't mention at that time, but one of the best things that you can do as a leader is also learning to be a coach from time to time, right? So coach people into the change, help them. Yes, you want to accelerate. Of course, you want to accelerate adoption, right? Especially if you already bought the tool and no one is using it, but you know the benefits, right? You do want to accelerate, of course. Like you want to move people a little bit faster, right? Shrink that curve and make it a little bit smaller and faster. So if you're already thinking about a tool that you bought, or you're thinking about something that you want to buy, like a software that you want to buy, or as I said, something you have and it's underused, then your best bet is to find early adopters in your team. So identify them. Who are they? And you might already know, like there might be a name in your mind right now that, oh, this is the person. He or she is so engaged and uses this every single day. So identify that early adopter. If you don't have an early adopter, depending on how big your team is, that maybe there's someone with early majority, right? That they are a little bit curious, but they still wait for permission to use it. So identify people early in the curve, right? And then from there, empower them to lead, empower them to document use cases, to provide tips, as we talked about, like even do some kind of demo or workshop for the others, and get people on board, because this is how you can accelerate the adoption by understanding all these different stages and the different people in the stage, and empowering the ones in the early stage to influence. So they're the ones who influence, they're the ones who actually lead the adoption for the next stage. And then the next stage leads for the stage after that, right? So it kind of snowballs.
Absolutely. And technology is coming, whether you like it or not. Technology is coming, and if you don't adopt it, your competitors will. And if they have an advantage over you, then you may lose business. So it's good to get on board, learn how to use technology. We talked about how to pick the right technology earlier this week, and now it's time for you to bring your people on board and get them to start using it.
And this is something that you do today for whatever new tool or technology you are implementing today, but then also, not but, right? And next year as well, with the next thing that comes up, because, Joris, like you said, technology is here, and it's actually a lot of changes accelerate, right? Although right now it's so hard for us to think of the time that there was no iPhone, and if you're in your 20s, you'll probably be like, what? There was no iPhone? Yep. Yep.
Smartphone, yeah. Yeah,
We didn't even have internet at some point. So, yes, we did have electricity, although there are parts of the world where there's no electricity. So,
that's so.
like,
Yeah, they don't have
uh,
TVs. They don't have. Yeah,
so technology is accelerating, and who knows what the next thing will be. And not everyone is an early adopter, and that's okay. That's okay. And it's all about the awareness, right? Having the awareness that, okay, this is what the 5 stages are. This is where my team is. You can even plot and say, okay, I think this person is early adopter. This is early majority. This is late majority. These are the laggards, right? So uh, awareness, accept that, okay, this is what the picture looks like. This is where my team is. And then from there, you make the choice of how you help them adopt. And I would say, as an action step for today, find your early adopters, or at least map your team where you think they are on that curve. So you know that, oh, I don't actually have an early adopter, but I think I have early majority. So maybe the next time you might look, when you are hiring someone for a new position, you might actually add this to your um, requirements, like to who you're looking for, that you might start looking for people who are more open to change and for new technology, to adopt new technology. So anyway, for today, as I was saying, identify where your team is, right? Identify, map them, where are they on the curve, and from there, once you have the awareness, you can start leading better. And I would also encourage you, if you want to see how you actually show up and how your mindset impacts your team in any area, including adoption of new technology, I highly recommend you grab one of the free leadership assessments we offer every month. It's what, May 30th, so you have a chance to grab one for June soon. So I highly recommend. I will add the link in the description of the episode, so you can go and grab one for yourself. You need to answer a few questions beforehand, so it can help to make the process really beneficial for you. Go there and do this for yourself, so you can finally get that thriving business you want to have.
great session, Anna. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Joris. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with a recap of the week, what we talked about Monday to Friday. So remember to tune in. You know, it's a Saturday, and it's great that you're enjoying your Saturday. And it's one way you can enjoy your Saturday is by allowing that white space to think about stuff, and of course, listen to our wonderful 20-minute conversations. So
Got it.
remember to come back tomorrow, and yeah, we'll see you
We'll see you tomorrow.
tomorrow. Okay. Thanks, Doris. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.